Stacy asked me what my walk-on song was, and you just heard it, Go Big or Go Home. And that's not just because of my size, I might say. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you, well, not just for that introduction. When I was a candidate running for governor back in 2018, Dan was willing to sit down with me. I was one of, you may remember, there were 6 people running on the Democratic side back in 2018, and he was willing to sit down with me and talk about the damage that had been done by previous administrations in Illinois, and to your members and to your schools, and what was ongoing, a challenge for everybody back then. And he was willing to offer me some prescriptions for what we should do to build a better education for our children, a better life for our teachers, to stand up for our parents. And throughout my time in office, Dan, I mean, honestly, you've been a steady hand, you've been a proven leader, a true partner, and you're right. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone and call you because I didn't know the answer to something, I needed help, and I needed somebody really smart who represented the best people in our entire state, the teachers. You've made Illinois' education stronger, you've made our state stronger, and I want to thank you for 15 years of truly outstanding leadership. Thank you, Dan. And now we enter a new era, and I want to congratulate incoming President Stacey Davis Gates. I do look forward to working closely with you on overcoming truly a challenging environment that we face over the next several years. I've always believed that education is the foundation of everything. It really is. It's a foundation of our democracy. It's the foundation of our economy. It's the foundation of our future. My great-grandfather arrived here in this country having escaped Ukraine and the Russians who were killing Jews in the 19th century. And he got here with absolutely nothing, truly penniless. He was a young boy. He was able to thrive. Why? Because he got a free public education from a Harrison Street school in Chicago. So the foundation of my family's survival in America was built by his teachers, your predecessors. For me, the value of teachers and of paraprofessionals and of all who work in our schools is the good education and environment that you provide, and it is priceless, truly priceless. Every single day you show up for our kids. I want to thank you. Thank you for all the days that you've come in early and you've stayed late. Thank you for the kindness and compassion that you've shown to that kid who needed just a little bit of extra help. Thank you for the countless ways that you nurture and encourage and support children all across our state of all colors and creeds, and who, no matter what zip code they may come from. You're not just teaching reading and math and science, that's for sure. You're teaching kids how to think critically and how to aspire. You're showing, well, that they matter and that their voices count and that they can build lives of meaning and purpose. You're doing all that for so many kids. Teachers help solve the world's problems. That's not hyperbole. That is truth. So when I came into office, I was unwilling to continue our state's neglect. Dan talked about it. Some of you remember it. It was pretty awful. And we needed to invest in our teachers and our schools in the way that we invest, and the way that you, rather, invest in our kids. We needed to begin climbing out of the hole that the state had dug in preschool and K-12 and higher education. We needed to turn around the state's attitude about education and turn around its funding. And we have. Since I took office, state government has increased funding for public education by 33%. That's about $2.8 billion per year more. And there's more to come. There's more to come. We've increased investment in evidence-based funding, such an important change in the way we do things in the state of Illinois. And we've increased it to $8.9 billion with evidence-based funding. When evidence-based funding became law, 1 in 5 districts was below 60% adequacy. Today, there are 0 districts, none, that are under 60%. And again, more to do, but the progress is there. I raised the bar when I came into office on minimum teacher pay, and to address the need for more teachers, I launched the teacher vacancy program. It's $120 million invested to fill positions local schools just couldn't fill on their own. The result so far, 519 more first-time educators and 11,000 teachers retained. And we achieved a record teacher retention rate in Illinois of 90.2%. That is impressive. Today, we have 10,000 more teachers in Illinois than when I took office, including a greater number of Latino and Black and Asian teachers representing the diversity of our state. You all know this, but teaching is a profession the world needs to know. It's a profession and it deserves a professional compensation. And so I'm proud to say that since I took office, an average K-12 teacher's salary has increased by more than $10,000 per year, from $65,000 to nearly $76,000 last year. That's average. Across the board, education funding has increased like never before, and we've also expanded vocational training and career and technical education and early childhood. And not only has higher education funding been increasing after years of damaging neglect, but we've helped bring our universities out of junk bond status to credit ratings that allow them to access the bond markets to invest in their futures. I know that sounds awful boring, but as you know, that's real money that can be invested for our children, for our adults, for our teachers, for everyone that cares about having a great education and higher education system in the state of Illinois. Working with IFT, I enacted the law requiring Asian American history be taught in our schools. We banned discriminatory dress codes that police Black and brown students' hair. We established best practices for welcoming and protecting transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming students. And we launched Safe to Help Illinois to make sure that every child in school who needs it can get directed to the mental health resources they need. Look, this is the message. When you invest in students and you treat teachers well, you get real results. And guess what? We are getting real results in Illinois. Last year, Illinois' 8th graders ranked in the top 5 states for reading and math scores. Illinois high school graduation rates are the highest in 14 years, with notable improvements, especially among Black and Hispanic students. And if you're interested in rankings, and I am, because I always want to be number one, CNBC now ranks Illinois 3rd in the nation for education. And if you don't watch CNBC, how about U.S. News ranks Illinois 4th in pre-K to 12 education and number 5 in college readiness. So don't let anybody tell you that Illinois schools aren't honestly crushing it and that you all aren't making that happen. Thank you. But and it's a big but. Let's talk about, yeah, big but. Let's talk about, I'll take credit for that. What did I say, go big or go home? I'm here. Let's talk about what we're up against in 2025. President Trump and his bootlickers have torn down the U.S. Department of Education from the inside. Instead of helping to improve math and reading scores like you all are doing and supporting our educators, they're making it harder for students to get ahead. Books are being banned. History is being erased. Republicans want to take billions away from public schools and pump it into private institutions. They want to punish teachers for telling the truth. They want to criminalize educators for supporting LGBTQ students. They want to turn classrooms into cultural war battlegrounds. And I'm sorry to be vulgar, but Donald Trump and his cronies can fuck all the way off. You got him there. And folks, here in Illinois, Republicans have voted against teacher pay increases, tried to gut collective bargaining rights, and they want to destroy public education. Instead, they want to give the money to, well, Darren Bailey's Full Christian Academy. We're not going to do any of that crap either. They honestly don't believe in what you do. They don't respect who you are, and they sure as hell don't care about the kids that you serve. Here in Illinois, we're not backing down. We're not going to let them ban books or whitewash history. We're not going to let them demonize teachers or defund classrooms. We're not going to let them turn education into a partisan weapon. Because public education isn't and shouldn't be a political issue. It's a moral imperative. It's the promise that we make to every child: you matter, you belong, you will have the chance to build the future you deserve. Every dollar we've fought for, every policy we've passed, every teacher we've supported, we're not going backward. Frankly, we're not done yet. We're going to keep expanding early childhood education so every child gets the strong start they deserve. We're going to keep recruiting and retaining the best teachers and paraprofessionals and make sure that they're paid like the professionals they are. And we're going to protect every student, no matter their zip code, no matter their background, no matter who they love, and make sure that they have a safe, welcoming classroom in which they can learn and thrive. And we're going to make Illinois not the third in the nation in education, but number one. Because our kids deserve nothing less, because you deserve nothing less. To every educator, to every person in this room, you are not alone. Trump may have made it more difficult for us all, but we can get through this and get to the other side. You are all fighters, and so am I. So thank you. Thank you for standing tall for families, for students, and for everyone in Illinois in our country's most difficult moments. Thank you all for having me here.
Go big!